Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be working on the train bridge in the farm. So let's get started. Alright, so last time I worked in this area on the bridge here was actually quite a while ago, but I'm going to put that video on the top right anyways for you guys if you're interested in checking that out. And all of this mess here is actually from the video from the other day where I added in the foundations over here. So that's why this is all pretty much a mess, but I will also put that video in the top right for you guys as well. So just don't mind the mess here because most of these pieces are going to end up getting reused back into this anyways. And so I wanted to kind of just take the time here to work on this bridge because this looks terrible, honestly. So yeah, I want to go ahead and I want to work on this a little bit more. I pretty much had most of the basic elements to it down in that last video, but this time I want to actually go through and add all of the pieces in, and I would love to finish it today. I don't know if that's entirely realistic, but let me go over those basic elements in case you didn't see that last video. Alright, so I brought the train bridge up to the front of the city here so I could sit down and kind of give you guys a better view of it instead of an overhead shot. And so basically what I want to do is have the bridge look kind of like this from the outside. And then from the inside, it is going to be offset by a half a stud from the actual train track itself, simply because the Orient Express is actually 8 studs long. And so it needs that extra half stud of gap in there in order for the pistons to move on the wheels. And originally I was going to do this with 1x2 jumpers, but I realized pretty quick that they don't have the same clutch power. They don't have enough clutch power that I need. And so instead, I'm going to be going ahead and using 1x3 jumpers. And the color doesn't really matter. I would love to have dark gray, but unfortunately I just don't. They only had black on the pick-brick wall a while back. And so you can kind of see in here, I'm using 1x2 plates with the rail on them in between each of the rail pieces here, if that makes sense. And then I'm also alternating in some 1x2 plates as well, just to give it a little bit of differentiation there. And I don't think the black looks that bad, to be honest with you. You can't even really tell that it's in there under most lighting conditions anyways. And so I'm pretty much just going to be doing that all the way down. As for the design on it, I'm thinking a 1x1 brick, or a stack of 1x1 bricks, a panel, 1x2 bricks, a couple panels, some 1x2 bricks, a couple panels, and so on and so forth until you get to the end. I don't know how the end is going to look. I also don't know if that math is going to work out. I haven't tried that yet, but all of these jumpers are just kind of on here haphazardly. I did a little bit of work before this video started just to see if I had enough pieces for this, and I think I do, which is good. And so this is kind of a better example of each section that I'm talking about here. And so basically, on the underside here, I have 2x plate in brown and dark red, and this medium nougat one was just a placeholder at the time. But basically, you just take a 2x plate, and then you add your 1x3 jumpers onto one end of it, and then you, on the other side of it, you put your bricks and your panels, and then every other pair of 2 is going to have a 1x2 plate on it, and then, because that's where the plates are going to go in. And so if I flip this around one more time, and this would be a lot easier with one hand, but basically it's going to just clip in like that there. And then you would just press it down, and that is pretty much it. It's pretty simple, but I think it is pretty effective. And so now let's go ahead and put a little bit more on here just to see if that math works out, and then we'll take it from there. And so actually, before we get into that really quick, I was in the middle of building this side of it here, and I came across a little problem in that the 1x3 jumpers actually got in the way of the 2x plate as well as the bricks underneath of them, because I'm kind of using these 2 rocks in the middle of the lake here as like supports almost. And so I'm trying to go ahead and line them up here, and the 1x3 jumpers overlapped and were hitting those bricks, and so I had to go in and use 1x2s instead. But once you put the plate with the rail on, it should be fine, and you can barely even see it. So that works out fine. So let me finish up this side here, and then I will show you guys how it looks. All right, so this is what I was pretty much going for here, a nice mix of dark red as well as reddish brown. And I'm not loving the dark brown plates in there, but I don't really have much of a choice because I'm actually running really low on brown and dark red plate. So I kind of have to use these, and I have a lot of dark brown 2x6s, so the other side is also going to have some, unfortunately, but I don't think it looks that bad. It kind of looks like water splashed up, and this bottom part of the bridge is a little wet. So I'm not mad at that. Also, I had to end up using 7 of these panel pieces here for this one side. My original goal was to use 6 on this side and 6 on the other because the train car that I was taking apart was had 12 in total, so I was going to just put 6 on this side and 6 on the other side and call it a day. But unfortunately, I'm using 7 on this one side. I'm going to have to use 7 on the other, so I will be 2 short, so I am going to have to place an order for that. But this does look really good, and I am actually pretty happy with this. I did also have to use a mixture of plates in here as well, just to fill it in because I'm running low on dark red and brown brick. And I do just need to add in a 1x2 tile here, which I do have somewhere. I just need to grab that. And so I'm pretty happy with how this looks, honestly. And once it was pretty flimsy, and it fell apart pretty often when it was in pieces. But now that it's all put together and it's all pretty much done, it's pretty rock solid, and I am pretty happy with this. This is also a look at the underside. And so as you guys can see, it's just a whole row of the 1x3 jumpers in black, and then the 1x2 jumpers in the white here. And again, it actually holds up pretty well. Before I put all the tiles on the top, I wasn't actually able to do that. But this looks pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with this. So now let me do the other side of it, and we can place it back into the farm and check it out. All right, so I went ahead and I put all of the pieces in on the other side, except for the 1x2s on this lower part here. And instead of the 2 panels, like how I said I was going to be short on them earlier, I just put in a couple of 1x4 bricks in orange and lime green, just to remind myself that I need to get those, because otherwise that would never happen. So I am just going to leave it like that for now, and I'm going to just put all the 1x2s in, and then we can place this and have the train go over it and see how it looks. All right, so the train bridge is in, and I did have to make a little bit of a modification over here because this 2x4 slope in here was actually getting in the way. So I had to rip this all up and change the pieces in here, but that was fine. And then now the bridge itself is in, and I think it looks really good. I also went ahead and I added in some 1x6 tiles on the top of each of the sides here, and I think that looks pretty good. And so I haven't actually tested the train on it yet, so we're going to do that together here on camera. So let me grab the train, and then I will run it through, and I'll show you guys how it goes. All right, so here's the bridge, and the train is coming by right now. And I did test the clearance of the train in the previous video, so this is not a problem, but the weight seems to be holding up pretty good. And so as you guys can see, the train has no problem going over the bridge. Now, I know that the clearance here, or it's so small, you can barely, like, you can see the light through it, but, you know, you can see you can see my fingers at the back there. And I know it's not perfect, and I know it doesn't look the best, but I'm just making do with the space that I have here. And I had to choose between using either a realistic track grade here, like going up 1 plate every 16 studs or 1 track length, or a realistic bridge height. And so I chose the realistic grade, incline and decline, so the train could actually run on the tracks. And so I didn't have that much space of a decline to work with here either, so I thought this was the best option that I had. And in the future, I would love to have a bridge that's higher off the ground, so you can actually maybe put like a frog or something under it. But I'm pretty happy with this. I think it looks good, which is my main goal. So let me give you guys a farther away angle to show you guys what this looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like from the access hole here, and zooming in a little bit for you, I think it looks pretty good. Honestly, it's not great, but again, I'm limited in the space in the sense that, you know, I can't have a massive grade to have a big gap between the bridge and the lake and then have a big decline on the way down. I only have 3 track segments of length here for the decline, and I have about 4 or 5 for the incline over here. So I don't have many options here. I could get rid of this road and then have a bigger decline, but I'm not a huge fan of using these new road plates with like making curved roads. I haven't seen a design that I really like yet. And I've been tinkering around with some stuff on and off for probably about a year now, and I still haven't found a design of curved road that I like. So until I find something to replace that with, like that T-section with a curve, until I find a design that I like, I'm going to leave that intersection there for now. And that train crossing is also going to have to stay then. And so, yeah, that just means that the decline here can only be 3 track lengths long, which means that this bridge can't be that tall, unfortunately. But one day I would love to get that higher off of the lake. I think that would look really awesome. But the weight of the train itself is being supported by the bridge, no problem, which was my main concern, actually. So, yeah, I think it looks pretty good, honestly. If you guys have any feedback for me, make sure to drop a comment down below. But I'm pretty happy with this. I do like the mix of the red and the dark red and the brown. But on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this bridge or what you think I should do with this intersection here, make sure to drop a comment down below. And once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.